about Raja Caruth? He's never led the field to green on a start or a restart, Michael. What a moment for him right now.
I bet that heart's starting to beat a little bit quicker right now.
Toyota Tundra is on pit road. Raja Caruth, Christian Eckes side by side, patiently awaiting. The green flag is in the air. We are racing at Las Vegas. See, Raja took the outside. Kyle Busch, he wants to get around quick.
Yeah, and that's a teammate for Raja. Kyle Busch is a teammate now at Spire Motorsports.
Kyle on that number 7 on the outside. But look, Ty Majeski.
Big push from Stuart Friesen. Got Eckes down into turn 3, and he's going to take the lead.
This is so fun. Look at him fanning out already as they come out of turn 4.
Oh, ooh, somebody really out of shape coming off of 4.
I think that was Ben Rhodes there in that orange truck, Kubota. Look at that mess. There's the one truck. He's the one I'm going to have my eye on. You talked about where he started.
Was that Ben Rhodes you were talking about being out of shape, and he makes a 3 wide pass on the outside?
Going forward, passing Christopher Bell right now. Full steam ahead. Meanwhile, Christian Eckes leads that first lap.
Just crazy disparity of speed going in turn 1 versus going in turn 3. We saw 12 miles an hour during practice and qualifying.
That was incredible. When we were riding on board, I believe it was with Corey Heim into turn 3, Michael, and you just took us aboard what the wind is doing as they head down the track into turn 3.
That was got to spin.
Back it out.
41 goes around. That's Bailey Curry. Caution is out for the first time.
Great job by these other competitors to avoid him.
Get ready to take the bed top on and clear the.
Hate that for Bailey Curry. Remember, he was the one last week. He lost part of his roof in the middle of the race, flew off.
He's running into 12th spot, so he's running, running halfway decent.
A lot of action right there in the just outside the top 10. Damage to the tailgate of that 41 truck for Curry. See if we can catch what happens here.
He's on the inside of Matt Crafton. That's Matt in the yellow number 88.
Does he lose the?
Chase Purdy right ahead of him in the 77.
Just tried to make the move on the 77 of Purdy and just cranked her a little bit too hard to the left, and around it went.
Was that Ben Rhodes, the 99, that just barely missed him?
It's been an eventful 3 laps for Ben Rhodes. There's been a lot go on in Ben's.
Watch.
Yeah, we know how loose. Ooh, that is him coming through the smoke. That's Ben Rhodes, that orange and black truck.
Well, you said it, Michael. Or Phil, one of you said, great heads-up driving by the rest of the competitors.
See if we can get an onboard look or two at this. Corey Heim, spin's going to be.
No mo. Get you it up on exit. Back her down, back it down, back it down, back it down to the bottom.
You got to know Daniel Dye was around, right? He's going to have us a good view of this. Here it is.
He's right behind Corey Heim. That's Corey in that red truck right ahead of him.
Where'd you say Corey started?
Check out here. Get down, get down.
Starts in 25th. Daniel inside the top 10, and Corey's moving. He's made some moves. Daniel's falling back a little bit, but Heim's up inside the top 15.
That's amazing. We knew he would be good. Very uncharacteristic qualifying effort for Corey.
Caution out for Bailey Curry after this incident. They'll work on that truck, try to get back out, but Christian Eckes leads. Welcome back to a windy but beautiful night here in Las Vegas. Temperatures have been very nice, very comfortable. Just the wind has been relentless.
Talked to the spotters up on the roof. They said it's very aggravating, this wind.
It's nonstop. Well, 5 laps in, it's already been eventful. Caution is out for Bailey Curry, who went around. Christian Eckes is the leader. Let's get an update, Amanda.
Daytona winner Nick Sanchez just relayed over to his team that the track is way too dirty. He was trying to move up into the higher grooves and said that it was just not a good idea and said, I am not doing that again.
What we've seen, I talked about trucks all over this racetrack, and we have seen some guys make some big moves, like Ben Rhodes through 1 and 2 up high. So the wind is blowing around any dirt or grit onto the surface, and Nick says it's a little bit too slippery for him.
Yeah, now that we've started the race, that'll be cleaned off if somebody runs up there fairly quickly.
What an eventful start of the race it's been for Ben Rhodes. Watch this, Daniel Dye gets loose right here, slides up in front of Ben.
Just kisses the outside wall. We speculated that somebody got into the outside wall, and it looked like it was Daniel, just ever so slightly.
Got a report on Daniel's radio that he's having trouble with the truck jumping out of gear.
Yeah, we didn't see it during our qualifying show, but he had trouble getting off pit road. We mentioned that he had trouble getting off pit road, and I talked to him in the garage, and he said that it jumped out of first gear, so he may be having transmission issues.
Let's hear what Tyler Ankrum and the 18 team are saying.
Having issues with the starter again.
We're not going to be a fuel mileage race. I wouldn't even shut it off unless you need it for cooling, you know?
Yeah, it's not wanting to turn off, then it's also not wanting to turn back on every once in a while.
Yeah, leave it alone. Yeah, leave it alone. Leave that switch alone.
Best news he could get, right? It's not going to be a fuel mileage race
totally.
until it is.
Yeah, we
right
know
now.
it's not for the first 2 stages, but after that, it may be.
All right, here we go. Once again, Christian Eckes, the leader. Kyle Busch on the front row.
Little wheel spin there for Kyle Busch gives Eckes the advantage. Roger Caruth right on the tailgate of Kyle. It's going to be a big push.
Look at them fan out 3 wide. We talk about how crazy the restarts are here. Some say they're scary, some say they're fun. I think everybody's a little mixed bag as they head down the backstretch.
Look at that push by Raja.
How about Majeski, the 98, making it 3 wide?
Kyle Busch takes the lead. Christian Eckes settles back into second. Ty Majeski, as you mentioned, that great run, and our pole sitter back and forth.
3 wide back, about racing for 6th or 7th for a moment.
Look at that pack.
There's Zane Smith in the 91, making up some time up to the 8th spot.
Was that Corey Heim, the 11, just outside the top 10 after starting 25th?
Strong run early.
Big mover. That was the question. How are these trucks going to race? The Toyotas didn't really show up in qualifying. Friesen had the best effort in the top 10.
There goes another Toyota.
Yeah.
Christopher Bell really fast. All the way down to the bottom, taking the shortcut was Zane Smith
right?
in that 91.
There's Stuart Friesen, we mentioned. First brand new truck that they've brought to the racetrack since Jimmy Villeneuve, his new crew chief, came aboard.
It looks pretty darn fast right now.
Changing direction. They're really optimistic about the future, but they said don't expect too much in these first couple of weeks. But heck, he had a great qualifying effort earlier today.
Best on a 1.5 miles since 2022, a little over a year and a half ago. Guess how he did in that race?
I think he may have gone to victory lane.
Went to victory lane. So
yes.
Great start for Stewie. I like to see that truck up front.
This is some great racing here. A lot of trucks running up front. Good battle here with Sanchez in the 2, Christopher Bell in the 1. That is a battle inside the top 10. And how about Corey Heim?
Heim is on the move.
Strong move on the outside.
What does Boyer always say? High, wide, and handsome. Look at him coming through. Nick Sanchez in the 2. He was so strong here last year, but it was his first attempt. Made a lot of mistakes. Said I'm a much better driver a year later. Very hopeful for tonight.
I'm not sure what Corey Heim's issue was qualifying, but whatever it was, it's gone away as he now gets put in the middle by Christopher Bell.
And look at that move by Bell.
Trying to make a statement. Christopher Bell didn't spend a ton of time in the truck series, but he locked up a championship, amassed quite a few wins in his time. He wanted to come back and play here in Vegas.
All 3 of our Cup drivers that we talked about at the top of the show are all in the top 10 right now.
Majeski's right behind Bush, closing in him. Here comes the 18 of Ankrum. That's battle for 5th.
Ankrum was so good in practice. We talked about top of the show. Fastest in the 10-lap average, fastest in the 15-lap average, and fastest overall in practice.
Just so impressed with what Tyler Ankrum has done already. We've seen him race for multiple race teams throughout the years. And we talk a little bit about him here and there, but he doesn't have the success that he expects to have. And now all of a sudden, out of the box with this new team, it's really been impressive.
We talked to him at Daytona before they ever even got on the racetrack, and he was talking about how confident he was. Really has a great relationship with Mark Hillman, his crew chief. Really couldn't wait to get the season started. And he scored the most points in both races as Majeski goes to the lead.
Majeski on the move. Look at Raja Caruth pushing the issue, wants to get around Kyle Busch. That's a teammate, by the way. We went back to the kids getting all that advice from Kyle Busch on pit road earlier today. He's like, Kyle, let me try to use it on you. Kyle says, nope.
I believe Majeski's got the fastest truck right now. He's able to pull alongside Kyle. Can he close the door? I think he's going to do so.
Ty Majeski driving for Thor Sport. To the lead he goes.
Yeah, Joe Shear has a great setup in that 98 truck for Majeski. And how about Curb Records sponsoring that truck?
Let's get an update on Raja Caruth. Josh.
Yeah, and you guys are talking about the fact that before the race that Raja Caruth was learning a lot from Kyle Busch. Well, he's learning in race as well. The team asked him over the radio, are you seeing what Kyle is doing in turns 1 and 2? And then Raja just came back and said, I know, I see what he's doing. I'm taking note, but I'm also trying to save my stuff, guys.
Look who's coming.
What a race.
This is awesome. Stuart Friesen's trying to join this three-way battle for the lead.
Stuart has been so good here. I feel like every time we race at Las Vegas, he finishes in the top 10. Qualified 3rd. We talked about that great effort, the big smile on his face after he was interviewed.
You think Ty Majeski thinks it's 2 against 1 right now every time he gets the move?
And he's right. It is 2 against 1.
Raja pulls up behind Kyle, gives him the advantage, but he continues to battle down on the bottom.
Talking to a couple of these kids in the garage earlier, Nick Sanchez included, I asked, what does Kyle do that you guys are impressed by? And they said the aero blocking. He does it amazing. What exactly do they mean by that?
He just keeps everyone behind him. Even if they're side by side, he knows how to run whatever lane it takes is to keep those trucks behind him. It's more prevalent on speedways when we see people trying to manage both lanes and keep them behind them.
This 98's fast. I believe it's just a matter of time.
What a battle up front. Kyle Busch is leading him. Majeski wants a piece of it. Caruth is right there. 19 laps in. Welcome back to the Victorious Boys Foundation 200, presented by Westgate Resorts. Happy to have you joining us. What a race it has been. 111 laps to go. We're only 23 laps in, and we've had a lot to talk about, gentlemen.
It's been great battles, and we've seen Arrow make a difference where a big push for Raja to Kyle Busch kept him out in front for a while, but Kyle's beginning to fall back now. As you see, Raja's got around him, as has Stuart Friesen, and they're all chasing Ty Majeski.
Yeah, Kyle's back now to the 7th spot. Christopher Bell and Corey Heim. Corey Heim starting 25th is now up to the 6th spot.
And another one of those drivers started on the front row. Christian Eckes has fallen back to 12th, so handling not to his liking. Let's get an update, Amanda.
Jamie, as we get closer to the end of stage 1, you are hearing drivers relay back to teams some issues that they're having with the truck. That one of the 19 is that it's just way too tight. This is a brand new truck for Christian Eckes and this team this year. They decided to trim it out, focus on the aero, focus on the suspension. But we talked in qualifying that this track evolves from day to night, and I expect that some of these issues may be just that.
It's just such a guessing game, Amanda. These teams have to just trust their data and trust their decision making, because the track is much different when the sun goes down.
And we get 20 minutes of practice. I mean, there's not a lot that they can do in that 20 minutes. There's some adjustments they can do, but not major adjustments like changing springs and things like that.
That's always the conundrum, right? Hey, guys, my truck's not right in practice. We need to fix that. No, hold on a second. It's going to be completely different tonight.
We're hearing Kyle Busch is complaining about this right front tire gone, and now he's talking about maybe that there's some sort of an issue with that truck.
Well, that could explain why Kyle Busch went from leading this race back to 7th.
This is a truck, 2 trucks that I'm going to really keep my eye. I talked about Ankrum was my pick to win, but the 2 trucks behind them, those Toyotas, they didn't qualify good. We've talked about that, but they are fast right now, moving through the field. So I think that you will hear a lot more from Christopher Bell and Corey Heim before this night's over.
And another one of their teammates is back in the 8th spot, or up to the 8th spot, I should say, with Taylor Gray.
Taylor's having a strong run. Worried about those Tricon Toyotas in qualifying. I think they put all that concern behind them.
All those Tricon trucks are brand new. All the crew chiefs were like, this is the best we got, our latest and greatest. And then in qualifying, everybody's questioning, but they're coming to the front. Let's listen into Kyle's radio.
Lost the nose. Yeah, I'm getting pretty tight myself. Tight all the way through 3 and 4. The race 1 is gone, man. Like we got a problem.
That's interesting, because when you ask crew chiefs what they set up for at this track, they say we free up as this racetrack, you know, as the race goes on. So we need to build in for adjusting for tight. But you hear these drivers saying they're tight already.
Yeah, a lot of that is wind, and a lot of that he's talking about in turn 3 and 4. Again, whatever direction your truck wants to take, I think that wind is exasperating that.
Hey, time flies when you're having fun. We're already on the final lap of stage number 1.
Talking about having fun, Ty Majeski.
Heck yeah, with a truck like that.
Couldn't figure out a way around Kyle Busch in Atlanta. Followed him to the checkered, but he's going to get this stage victory.
Ty Majeski leads him. Raja Caruth in 2nd, started on pole. Stuart Friesen back in 3rd. This will be Ty Majeski's first Las Vegas stage win, and his first laps led at Las Vegas.
Raja continues his hot start of the year with following up his pole with a 2nd place finish in the first stage.
But Corey Heim starts back in 25th, gets some stage points. They're all chasing that man. That is one fast truck. And Ty Majeski, hang on, we'll have pit stops after this. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, live from Las Vegas. Fabulous Las Vegas. How has this, I mean, it's changed so much over the years. Every time we come back, there's a new hotel. And oh, by the way, they've got a football team. They've got so much going on. The Golden Knights, of course.
Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl was just here last month. That was incredible. Las Vegas did an incredible job hosting the Super Bowl, I may add.
There's our stage points from stage 1. That's Raja Caruth's best ever finish in a stage. And the thing I find interesting, Phil, the top 5 different organizations.
I love that.
That's so cool.
And you see no points for Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch. Of course, that's because they can't get points in the Truck Series. They're full-time in the Cup Series on Sunday. They're all coming down pit road. They're coming your way, Amanda.
We're going to take a look at the one of Christopher Bell. I was talking to his crew chief earlier today, Seth Smith. He said that Kyle Busch keeps everyone honest. We're going to have to do everything right tonight, and it starts right here on pit road. He was requesting some more rear gear out of this truck. It's going to be 4 tires for Christopher Bell and then for Rowdy in the 7. But Josh, I think you have an update on the 71.
Yeah, let's start with the 98 of Ty Majeski, Ashley, and for him, he said it fired off really, really well. It got tight towards the end of the run, but wants no adjustments in his truck as far as the 71 of Raja Caruth. They want some adjustments. He said good in 1 and 2, 3 and 4, a little free, so they made an air pressure adjustment to help him out.
Thanks, Josh. They got stacked up there on pit road. It was a close call, but it seems like everybody is good to go.
What a mess. It costs a couple of drivers several spots on pit road.
How about Raja? When he runs well, it pumps the whole team up. Great pit stop, gets them the lead.
See that? +1. Caruth back to where he started this race, the #1 spot. Kyle Busch, great job on pit road by his team. We're going to step aside quickly, but come back. Stage number 2 is up next. The Victoria's Voice Foundation promotes programs that bring awareness to drug addiction and overdoses, partnering with the largest school districts in Florida and Nevada. The Victoria's Voice Foundation has helped adopt educational programs around the topic of drug addiction and professional speakers for students and parents on life skills, purposeful living, and the reality behind addiction. To learn more, head to victoriasvoice.foundation.com.
See that truck on the outside, guys? That's Christopher Bell in the one truck.
Drove that truck from 14th up in the top 5. Now he's going to go to the back and do it all over again.
Well, we saw Corey Heim start 25th.
He's gonna get busted for equipment interference. Watch the right front tire as a tire changer takes it off. He tries to roll it towards pit road, and the thing just wobbled a little bit and went off to the right. So that tire went in the next pit stall, and that's considered interference, and that's why he will have to go to the back for this restart.
Tough break for him.
There's Ty Dillon right ahead of him in the 25 truck. They were under the front of that truck with a couple of wrenches working on it. I'm not sure what the problem is with the 25, but he's got an issue as well.
Talked to the team right after practice and qualifying, and they were very optimistic. Felt like they had something they could really race with. And still a long way to go in this race.
This will be a fun restart. Got Raja Caruth on the inside. Kyle Busch, his teammate here on the outside. Really good restart for the 71. Ty Majeski all over the back as they head into turn 1.
I think that's the second time we've seen a little bit of wheel spin on Kyle's truck on that outside line.
Raj able to clear Majeski. We know how fast Majeski was at the start of this race on those fresher tires. Matt Crafton with the great pit stop. He's up there battling.
Look at the 11 of Corey Heim on the move once again, the biggest mover so far tonight.
Well, not much room there for that 3 wide situation.
That was tight back there. Those 3 trucks all their same color too. They about had each other's paint all over.
I think they're a little bit hesitant to move way up the racetrack yet, Michael, till we get a little bit of rubber down. As we see Kyle Busch jump to the outside of Raja and a battle for the lead.
Battle for the lead as they head into turn 3. Side by side they go under the lights at Las Vegas. Can Raja hold him off at the finish line here? Start finish line side by side. What a battle.
Watch Corey Heim. How does he decide to play this game? Is he just going to push Kyle or make it 3 wide?
He can dictate the leader or maybe try to take the lead on his own.
What great racing we've seen here tonight.
Corey Heim gets close to the bumper of Kyle Busch. Majeski was so strong in stage number 1, back there in 4th right now. And Matt Crafton in the 88, check him out.
His team did a great job on pit road, gained him several positions.
You talked, Jamie, during practice and qualifying. He's never won here at this racetrack. How many? 27 starts?
For 27 here, and he's great on these 1.5-mile tracks, but it's just never been meant to be at Las Vegas.
3 second-place finishes, though. He's been close.
That's got to hurt even more.
Look at this battle all over the place for the lead.
Look at Raja Caruth hanging on to the lead. Kyle Busch behind him. Corey Heim, Ty Majeski, Matt Crafton, and the 2. Nick Sanchez has found his way back up into the top 5. Sanchez and Crafton back there fighting for that 5th spot. Caruth, first time in his career he's led laps here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
This is a statement race. You know, we know how good he was at Daytona and how well he ran last week, but this race, it's just a different style of racing. And if you can run good here and be the leader, have a shot to win, you're going to be strong all year long.
Yeah, certainly this race is more indicative of all the races we're going to see this year as we watch Christopher Bell making his way back towards the front in that 1 truck.
Christopher Bell all over Brett Holmes back there for 21st position. I knew he was going to put on a show, so we'll keep those cameras on him as he tries to make his way forward.
Connor Jones in the 66 trying to learn a thing or two from Christopher Bell as he races toward the front.
See that yellow truck right there? That's Lane Riggs. His qualifying time was disallowed, and he had to start at the back for a spoiler violation.
Not the start to the season that this young man, this rookie, wants to have.
Taylor Gray battling for the top 5.
The 18-year-old battling the wily veteran.
We drove that thing down in turn
Did,
3,
and
didn't
it
he?
stuck. That was fun to watch.
Ty Majeski's getting hot again, side by side with Kyle Busch.
Remember how strong Majeski was after a few laps. He was definitely the class of the field once they got a few laps on their tires.
Got that stage win for Majeski, is makes up another spot. 44 of 134 laps here tonight.
Look at Matt Mills, that 42 truck.
Let's see where Bell goes here. They're side by side. Hello.
Excuse me, coming through.
Gonna need to take a right. He's still immersed in that big battle. Just working the bottom of the racetrack.
These battle right inside the top 20.
17th and 18th here. They see Christopher Bell coming. Jake Garcia in the 13 just behind them. Had a great run, top 10 here last year, his first time ever. Michael talked to him, what'd he say?
I said, this looks kind of crazy. Are you nervous? He said, I think I am.
Not sure what to expect.
I said, you should be. Good job.
Let's get an update on the 11, Josh.
Yeah, we talked about how Corey Heim's been the biggest mover so far, and when I talked to him before the race today, he said he wasn't happy with how they qualified, obviously, but he said I was also confident in what we had. He said we used the same setup, same strategy we had last year, and it resulted in a top 5 finish here, so we knew no matter where we start, we can be a player out there today. They made an air pressure adjustment at the end of stage 1, and it's really continuing to help them out there, guys.
Yeah, Corey Heim, his crew chief Scott Zipadelli, magical pairing. Last year we saw what they were capable of, won the regular season championship and came so close at the last race. We're going to step aside, but you won't miss a thing. We're going side by side with Roger Caruth up front. Well, you saw it on side-by-side. Ty Majeski to the lead once again. Raja Caruth back to second, battling with Corey Heim for that second spot. These three trucks have been solid all night.
Sure have. Kyle Busch now finds himself about a second half back. There he is right there in 4th spot.
Let's listen to what Majeski's team had to say.
Gotta get the tape off it. It's running 235. No straightaway speed. Got a little grill. You got something on your grill. Copy. Sorry for the Johnny Sauter moment. That's all good. Focus, drive back away from the 11. Way better than the 71.
I didn't expect that radio at all, but that was pretty good.
When Joe told him there was something on his grill, he immediately calmed right down. His voice changed 3 octaves.
Johnny Sauter, longtime driver for the team, and sometimes he's
Colorful.
very colorful. Colorful
Yes.
is what we'll say.
That radio button is a great vent. If you're having a bad time, you push that button, you feel like King Kong.
Yeah.
You tell them what all's going wrong with your truck.
The bad thing is now everybody knows what
That's
you're
right.
saying.
I'm glad that wasn't always the case.
Yeah. And then we played on Radioactive during Race Hub during the week.
Yeah.
That was great. Ty Majeski, very close. From Wisconsin as well. Johnny Sauter's got to be laughing wherever he is watching this race right now.
What about Taylor Gray? He's closed right in on the tailgate of Kyle Busch, 18-year-old. One of the best to ever drive a NASCAR car, just ahead of him. That's just got to feel so good, being able to race right along with Kyle Busch.
Remember, we started the year last year, and he wasn't old enough to race at Daytona.
That's right.
He hadn't turned 18 yet.
Kyle Busch, 65 wins. Taylor Gray waiting for his first win. This is his first full-time season. But we've seen him, Phil, running in the ARCA Menards series, and he's always a factor. Racked up some wins, and he jumps in and out of those cars. So to see what he's going to be able to do with this team full-time, Jeff Hensley, a veteran crew chief.
He's also going to run some Xfinity races for Joe Gibbs Racing later on this year.
Yeah, oh, by the way, he'll be in that equipment. That'll be fun to see what he can do in the Xfinity series.
Obviously, very talented young man running along in the tire tracks of Kyle Busch.
And I love that. I mean, Kyle's maybe having some issues, but why not follow him and see how he handles this traffic and see how he handles the issues that he's having.
But why not pass him so you can show him how much better you are?
Well, yeah,
okay. Saw that go sideways for Nick Sanchez here last year. He was battling with Kyle, and he's like, well, I feel like I'm better than him. Made the move and got in an accident, and he didn't even get to finish the race.
Corey Heim going to make his way up into the 2nd spot.
This battle for 2nd has been going on since we stepped aside. Heim has yet to lead tonight. We've had 4 different leaders. Majeski's led 25 laps and counting. Caruth with 17. Kyle Busch led 8 laps, and Christian Eckes 7 laps.
I love that we were confused, Phil, by where Corey Heim qualified. And now we're all clear on that, right?
Yep, no problem whatsoever.
Well, you heard the report. He was so confident. He knew what he had. He knew how they raced here last year. Not a factor to qualify back in 25th for him.
Only 2 laps to go till the end of this stage. Majeski may sweep the stages if he can hold on for another lap and a half.
We're talking about the hood of his truck. Dylan Scott, country music artist.
And we mentioned during practice and qualifying, Mike Curb, sponsor on this truck. Been around, this is 60 years for Mike Curb and Curb Records. Again, started a record company when he was 18 years old. And he's 60 years strong. Launched the career of so many artists, and does his family foundation does so much. I was reading some of the stuff that they're involved with, and it's unbelievable. The list goes on and on.
And spreading the love, letting us know who the country artists are that we should be listening to.
You know, Duggar, he's not on the truck, but you know he's smiling right now.
Stage winner.
Stage winner for the 2nd time tonight. Ty Majeski gets it done. Now he's won 2 stages ever at Las Vegas. And you mentioned it, Phil. His truck just gets better and better as they go along.
Yeah, those drivers behind him and teams are going to have to make some pretty serious adjustments if they're going to race with this guy. If he doesn't have any issues, he's going to be tough to beat.
Well, we heard Kyle Busch talk about how tight his truck was. It's all going down in Las Vegas on this Friday night. Can Majeski hang on and bring home the checkered flag? Stay with us. about a tip of the hat to our crew here at Fox Sports? It has been a long, long day. Dave Geller right there giving us the wave, bundled up. Andy Mitchell, hey Andy. Got our camera crews all around, the track. Terry Ford, yes we do. Holding it down.
There's Sajak.
There's Drano. Hi guys.
Yeah, stand up, Drano.
Steve LaBeouf. They're all tethered up there, guys. Thank you for everything you do. And to hold those steady cameras. The wind gusts have been up to 45 miles an hour today, sustained wind. All right, it's time for pit stops for the second time tonight, Amanda.
Jamie, with some of those gusts, we need a tether down here on pit road as well. You're going to see the two of Nick Sanchez pull into his pit box. Said he's really been struggling with the front end on that truck. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel for Nick Sanchez. And as Rowdy pulls into his box, he had on the radio right at the end that this thing is bad. He's also been struggling with the front end. 4 tires you can see on the 7. Josh?
For the 98 of Ty Majeski, said the truck getting just a little tight. They're going to make a slight air pressure adjustment to help him out. As far as the 71 of Rajah Caruth, happy with that truck. No adjustments, just 4 tires and fuel.
I take it they got the debris off the 98's grill.
Yeah, I think he got it off himself.
That was great radio.
How about, is Taylor Gray in a great 3-wide battle coming down pit road?
We're 3 wide even on pit road tonight.
How about Kyle Busch and his crew getting him out there first, up 4 spots. He made a chassis adjustment.
I think he gained 6 spots on his first pit stop, 4 spots on this one.
Getting the job done. Ty Majeski, Corey Heim, Rajah Caruth, Taylor Gray. It's been a night in Las Vegas. Stay tuned. Stage number 3 is coming up next. The action is right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. That was a look back at 1 year ago when Kyle Busch drove to victory lane. Kyle Busch shown in the second spot, but Taylor Gray, the 18-year-old we're talking about, right up front. Hey guys, this plays right into our storylines. The veterans versus the inexperienced, they're all up front right now.
This is a huge restart for Taylor Gray. He's right up there on the front row, gonna have Nick Sanchez behind him pushing.
Tyler Ankrum, the 18, let's listen to his radio.
But when I see things that we can polish, I got to tell you, so we get better, right? You need to get out of the box with more aggression. Be ready to go when it's time to go. You gave up like a half second getting out of the box there.
Yeah, 10-4, I also lit up the tires too hard. Kept me in the box for another half a second.
I believe that was Eddie DeHaan.
Yeah, spotter telling him what he could do better. It's always a learning process.
Here we go. 66 laps in. 69 laps to go. Taylor Gray on the inside. Kyle Busch on the outside.
Taylor Gray says, push me. And that's what Nick Sanchez is doing. That outside line is going to come through, though, it looks like.
It's the highest we've seen Nick Sanchez running as they go 3 wide. Nick Sanchez with a good push from Grant Enfinger.
Big push by Grant Enfinger.
Not good enough. Kyle Busch out front easily. Ty Majeski, stage 1, stage 2 winner, battling on the outside for second.
Oh! Is that
Trouble
Dean
in the
Thompson?
back.
Dean Thompson hard into the outside wall coming off turn 4.
Caution out for the 4th time tonight.
Heavy damage to the right side of that 5 truck for Dean. He's having a solid start to this night.
He made his way up into the top 10 at one point during this race.
Haven't had a lot of incidents tonight. The second one so far. Let's see what happened here. You see that black and blue number 5.
See, he got a little bit loose right there.
And he got a little looser there. And
just
bam.
never could catch up to it and then ran out of room.
These guys are running about 178 miles an hour. And for all those other competitors around him to save it,
look at that
amazing.
mess.
Look
3
at that.
wide.
3 wide, trying to make it 4 wide.
He does a really nice job staying up against the wall, staying out of harm's way.
You see that happens right in front of Christopher Bell and the 1 right there. He sees it happening. The 42's all over his bumper, but he's able to keep it down.
Yeah, heads up by Matt Mills in that 42 truck to give Christopher Bell some room to hit the brakes.
Yeah, heavy damage, like you said, Michael.
Sorry, boys. There's nothing I can do there. I mean, I was just wicked free. I got up there and just did a tough thing.
That was an issue that Dean Thompson's been battling all day. He was very edgy during qualifying as well. Said that it was part wind, part truck, but it's his 50th career race today. And when I talked to him about that ahead of the race, he was all smiles and finding out that stat heading in here. It said it's been a learning experience, a growth experience, and I'm sure this one will be as well.
We had a good run going and just lost it there, and that'll unfortunately take him out of contention for tonight. It's pretty severe damage. He was running 11th at the time of that impact.
Is anything more American than Chase Elliott and the American flag? Napa Auto Parts here at Las Vegas. A lot of fans enjoying this windy Friday night at the racetrack.
Great weekend of racing here. The trucks under the lights. We've got the Xfinity Series tomorrow. Of course, the Cup cars will be on track. 11 o'clock local, 2 o'clock Eastern. A lot more still to come. Kyle Busch leads. Ty Majeski here at Las Vegas. Stay with us. 66 laps left to go. Tomorrow on FS1, the future stars of NASCAR take on 300 miles of speed and endurance at the Xfinity Series right here in Las Vegas. Catch every lap. That's tomorrow at 5 Eastern on FS1. Sat down with Jesse Love, I should say, and talked about his season. 2 races in, 2 poles, led the most laps, led in both races. So you'll learn more about him on race day coming up tomorrow. And we welcome you back to the Victoria's Voice Foundation. Glad to have you guys. Under the lights, there's nothing like it, right, guys? I mean, just the way the trucks light up, the sparks, the energy.
There's something about a night race, isn't there? I mean, I've always loved watching these vehicles race at night.
Remember the first time we went to Charlotte in May to run the All-Star race under the lights? Never thought about being able to run a big track under the lights, and so much has changed since then. But there's one thing that hasn't changed, Jamie. Kyle Busch is at the front of a truck race. He's not had the fastest truck. In fact, he's fallen back outside of the top 5 on the longer runs, but his crew's done a nice job on pit road, maximizing.
We just didn't see him leading this race at all, did we?
We didn't forecast that at all.
Not at all, no.
Well, he's led 13 laps so far tonight, trying to get his 66th win.
I talked about that last restart being big for Taylor Gray, starting up on the front row. He fell back to 5th. It was a learning experience. I'm sure he took things away from that restart that he can use on this one. We'll see if he's able to perform a little bit better.
How about this stat? The last time Kyle Busch didn't lead here in trucks was when he was 16 years old. And how old is he right now?
38.
38.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He's won races in this series in 19 years. For 19
Incredible.
different years he's won races in this series.
By the way, just a reminder, he sold Kyle Busch Motorsports the end of last season. Now he's driving for them. Spire Motorsports is the new owner, but these are the trucks that they built last year. Hey, Amanda.
Just on that, Jamie, Brian Patty was telling me that they really look forward to the feedback coming from Kyle Busch on these trucks that they'll use for the rest of the season. I said, how does that feedback go? And he said, well, the details are very thorough and intense when necessary.
Yeah, some
Absolutely.
of his guys were telling me that, you know, they had a post-race meeting earlier this week from last week at Atlanta. And again, Kyle Busch doesn't have any ownership in this team yet. He was in that meeting.
He doesn't hold back. We know that, whether you're the one holding a microphone or you're the one turning the wrenches on his truck. He'll let you know what he thinks and how to be better.
Nick Sanchez there in the 4th spot, 2nd row outside. He's gotten better and better all night long. See if he can contend for this win.
See Taylor Gray in the 17. Grant Enfinger, expect big things from him tonight. His truck's been good. His green flag is in the air once again. Kyle Busch, Ty Majeski out front.
Good pushers back in row 2 for both those drivers.
Zane Smith 3 wide back there in that red truck.
Corey Heim back there as well. In the 11, has yet to lead tonight.
Look at the run Grant Enfinger has.
Look on the outside. Look on the inside. They're 3 wide.
Look in the middle.
And hang on.
Ty Majeski to the lead over Kyle Busch. Just like that, Kyle goes from the lead to 3rd. And here comes Nick Sanchez.
And Corey Heim jumps to the outside of Kyle Busch to grab that 3rd spot.
Crossover to the outside for Sanchez.
I'm talking about an eventful night. You see that bright orange truck back there about 10th position? Ben Rhodes, what all's he been through tonight? A lot, and he's in the top 10.
How about Eckes? Started on the front row, slid back. Now he's back in the picture, still in 12th, but going in the right direction.
Bottom of 3 wide. Tanner Gray, the 15 in the middle. There's Matt Crafton, the 88 that's going to prevail on the outside. There's Lane Riggs, the yellow number 38. He had a huge closing rate on them as Raja moves around Kyle Busch on the outside to take over 4th.
Been watching that battle all night long. Our pole sitter Raja Caruth back there in the mix, running 4th right now. Meanwhile, Taylor Gray side by side with Kyle Busch back in the 5th spot.
Ooh, there was a hole there for a moment, and Corey Heim took it. I think Raja was going to have momentum if Corey hadn't jumped out in front of him, and I think Raja may have moved by on the outside.
Clear high and exit, clear high. Get some momentum going. It's too late to pull out there. Small run coming at you.
42 looks like he may have gotten into the wall. That's Matt Mills.
Look at this run by Raja down on the bottom.
Watch him fight that wheel. You see his hands through the windshield.
How fun is this? These two were teammates at Rev Racing in the ARCA series. Now they're competitors. They're kind of
Quasi-teammates.
Quasi, yes. Rev Racing has an alliance with Spire Motorsports, but these two know what to expect from one another. Raced against each other a long time. Now they're up here battling in the truck series, running second and third right now. As Nick Sanchez to the inside, can he lead here for the first time tonight? Washes up just a little bit. Majeski on the outside. Look at this battle side by side.
Saw Majeski keep that left front fender right against the quarter panel for Sanchez to pull him back. How about Raja going to make it 3 wide?
Wow. These guys just know one speed. Wide open. Let's send it.
Michael, I love the body language. He's standing up right now. He's loving this.
This is great racing.
Corey Heim says, let me get a sniff. And wait, just wait. The 7's not done yet. He tried to make a move, tried to close on the 17, didn't work. So Nick Sanchez leading for the first time here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway tonight.
We talked about Majeski having the best truck here, won both stages. But Sanchez, they've been able to work on that truck.
We also talked about Sanchez being better all night long, and here he is pacing the field late.
Remember, he has Bono Mannion calling his shots this year for Sanchez. Winners already at Daytona.
And what a difference that makes. Talked to Nick Sanchez today. He said the difference knowing we have a win, we're locked into the playoffs, it can change the whole mindset in all of these races. I can go for the win, where I don't have to think about we need points, we need to think about this. He said it's completely different and gives him so much confidence.
Yeah, it just opens up his playbook down there on pit road, being able to make those decisions and know that the win's already happened.
Look at this. Corey Heim. He wants a piece of Ty Majeski. Heim started deep in the field, 25th, has battled his way up. It looks like Majeski had a little wiggle, goes up the track a little bit. There's so much happening.
Yeah, I was going to say, our cameramen and women are just like, what are we doing now? What do you want me to show? There's racing everywhere. We're doing a great job covering it all, too.
And with the wind gusts, I mean, the steady cams, it's amazing. Watching the local news, you couldn't even focus. They were bouncing all over the place. Incredible camera work tonight by our crew. Happy to have you joining us.
I don't think we've heard the last of this truck either. Corey Heim, look at that. He's got the measure. It looks like Sanchez wiggly down on the bottom.
Here comes Bell.
And Lane Riggs. Whoa.
Is that a little wall kiss?
Might have been just a touch of a kiss. How about a battle for the lead? Corey Heim's going for it.
Where'd he start, Phil?
Corey Heim
25th.
to the lead.
25th.
25th to first for the first time tonight. New leader.
You talked about Sanchez, and Michael mentioned opening up the playbook with that win already locked into playoffs. I was talking to the crew chief for Corey Heim, Scott Zipadelli, today. He said when we get that first win, then we can try some things. Right now we have the same setup that ran so well here last year.
They were such a force last year. Corey Heim, I mean, the top 10s. Every race he runs practically finishes in the top 10. It's really been impressive. I love this view right here. You can see the intensity, the focus on Corey Heim's eyes, and you see him looking up on his rearview mirror constantly, seeing where the competition is behind him.
And what kind of run might be coming.
He's looking at Nick Sanchez behind him as he goes up the track. What a great view of this battle behind him.
What about Taylor Gray? He's joined that battle.
Is he going to go through the middle? Thought better of it.
I'm glad. I've just been impressed with what this young man's done here. Raja Caruth and Taylor Gray, they're showing us, Phil, that they have what it takes to win anywhere.
How about Raja Caruth? 3rd and an 8th in the first 2 races of the season. Gets his first career pole today, and he's been running up here in the top 10, top 5 most of the night.
Lost the nose there off turn 2.
And Ankrum pounced on him, had a good run going, and made the pass.
How about Christopher Bell in the 1? Just a reminder, on that first pit stop, he had an interference call. Tire got out of the box. He had to start in the back of the field, and he has just raced his way up in the 9th spot right now.
This race is so fun. It's hard to handicap who our favorite is. As soon as you think somebody like Majeski's got a hold on things, here comes Corey Heim and takes over. And I think that 17 truck of Taylor Gray just keeps getting stronger and stronger.
And I think Gekas has made his truck better. Remember, he started on the front row, faded fairly quickly, and now he's back up in the top 10. Looks like he's moving forward.
49 laps to go, guys. What do you think when it comes to pit stops?
I think we go as long as they can go. They last pitted on lap 63. We know the pit window is somewhere between 50 and 55. So I think they run to probably lap 110, 105, 110. And another battle for the lead.
Majeski takes it from Corey Heim. Look at Taylor Gray wiggling behind him in the 3rd spot.
You think he saw that battle for the lead and got excited and left his foot in a little bit? That thing got really loose.
I think one of the byproducts of the draft here is what we're seeing right here. The guy out front punches up such a big hole that those guys running behind have the advantage of that air and are able to catch up and make the moves.
Fascinating. We still talk about the draft. The first 2 races of the season, all about draft pack racing, and here we are. It's a factor here tonight. Let's get an update on Raja. Josh.
Yeah, for Raja Caruth, I talked to him earlier today, and he said the big thing he had to learn is just the ability of the equipment he's in this year. He said these trucks we're in are fast. Last year I had to do so much trying to do more than I should have done. This year I need to trust the equipment and trust myself. As far as that truck right now, he said it's getting a little loose. You've seen him struggling to keep the spots as now he's battling side by side with Kyle Busch.
Thanks, Josh. Yes, Kyle Busch trying with all his might to get around that 71. They made a chassis adjustment on Kyle Busch's truck. Team's been good, but the truck just not up to where he wants it to be. Ty Majeski back out front. Corey Heim is there, Taylor Gray, Tyler Ankrum, and Nick Sanchez. 46 laps to go from Las Vegas. Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Happy you joined us when we were in side-by-side. The 52 or Stuart Friesen got into the wall. Phil?
Yeah, let's take a look back. This is off turn number 2. You see him way back there. Looks like
he's going to lose the nose there, I believe, Phil.
Yeah, just so close to the other vehicle. Just slight contact with the outside wall, but it's going to cut down the right front tire.
And there goes the tire.
We're going to see the tire go down and that starts sparking. Made an unscheduled pit stop. It won't be quite as bad if we go green and everybody else has to stop under green. But right now he finds himself 2 laps down.
And the problem is, did they get the fender pulled back far enough? Because that obviously caused the tire to go flat, and they made a pretty quick pit stop. So hopefully they got it cleared.
Yeah, he was in his window, so he can make it the rest of the way. We know all these trucks still on the racetrack still have to come to pit road yet.
Great point. With 40, now 39 laps to go, Corey Heim continues to lead Taylor Gray. We've had 7 different leaders, 14 lead changes, only 4 cautions tonight. It has been action-packed. Hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing at home.
See, Kyle Busch ran really low in 1 and 2. We know he doesn't like exactly the way his truck is handling. I like this line he started taking recently. Well, he goes all the way to the bottom this time. He's been running right against the fence, is my point. But you got to look around. That's what this track's all about. I talked about it in the track description. The variable banking. There's grooves everywhere out here, and he's just trying to find one that he likes with this 7 truck.
Right now, Kyle running in the 7th spot. The average age of the drivers in front of him, 22.
Yeah.
And that because Tom Majeski's 29.
That's fun. That's what we talked about, you know, the front row. The average age 22.
The question was, who would prevail at the end of this thing? Will it be one of those younger guys like a Corey Heim or a Taylor Gray?
And we felt like the conditions that these drivers are facing with the wind would really give the advantage to the veterans. But we're almost all over that, aren't we?
Yeah, this is fun here with Taylor Gray competing for his running in the 2nd spot, contending for a win here late at Vegas.
Taylor Gray has been really impressive. I mean, he's fast. He's been fast in anything he races from the time he was 15 years old. But to get this opportunity with this team, a new crew chief, they really believe in him and his ability. And what's neat is he's racing against his older brother, Tanner Gray, in the 15, and Tanner raced straight line. He was an NHRA drag racing champion.
Right across the street. He raced right across the street here.
Decided he wanted to turn left, do a little road course action, and his brother Taylor just always wanted to race here in the Truck Series and maybe one day in the Cup Series.
And remember, he didn't race here last year because he wasn't 18 yet last year for this race.
So a lot of nuances, new things for this young driver, but you never know, running second the way he's ran tonight.
Great battle, all 4 trucks in the top 4 running together. Here goes Christopher Bell trying to make the move on Kyle Busch to grab that 7th spot.
We get one more caution, all that this #1 truck of Bell's been through tonight. He could be a factor. We're talking about winning this race.
There's that line you were talking about, Kyle running up high.
Christopher Bell hasn't had a chance to flex his muscle. See what they have.
Remember, he's a teammate with Corey Heim and Taylor Gray, certainly Tanner Gray as well.
There's that high line. See, blowing up a little dust up there. Christopher Bell makes the move up to the 7th spot.
I'll tell you, the race pace is still pretty darn fast for these leaders. They're about a second off the very fastest lap that they've been able to run this race.
Well, ThorSport battle. It's calmed down for Ben Rhodes. Things were a little hectic early on.
Listening in on Ben Rhodes' radio, and I'll have to paraphrase, but he says they're not handling very well.
Well done.
What about Daniel Dye to pit road? Is this the start of the pit stops?
A little early,
I think it is too.
It's only 37 laps since he came down pit road.
Amanda.
Prior to the last stop, Christian Eckes was complaining of the tightness of the truck. Well, after the last one, he said, hey, we made a swing in the right direction, but we still need more. Josh, what are you hearing?
As far as the 9 of Grant Enfinger, the whole problem all night has been the 3rd turn. He says he's been getting killed there as he comes in to get fuel and right side tires.
That started the run to pit road, as you see Raja Caruth there.
It seemed early, but maybe they wanted to split this last stage in half. Josh?
But a strong night for Raja Caruth. He's led 17 laps as he comes in to make his final stop of the night, guys.
Green flag pit stops at Las Vegas. I know sometimes it gives people nightmares about getting onto pit road here. It's not an easy task.
Well, we saw in our short 20-minute practice several drivers taking advantage of that time to make the run to pit road. You can gain so much by getting on pit road faster than your competitors. Might get you that track position you need to go to victory lane.
See Kyle Busch in for service. Our leader Corey Heim still waiting his turn.
He can go another 10 laps fairly easily if he so chooses.
You see their last pit stop, how many laps ago. And I love this.
Here he comes.
Here he comes.
Corey Heim backs it down. Josh?
Strong night for Corey Heim. He may have started 25th, but he's now led 18 laps, looking for his first win of the season. Said the bounce of that truck is great right now as he's coming in for his final stop.
Tyler Ankrum has been in for his service, maybe just fuel. Mixed bag of strategies here.
I would think everybody would want tires. We see, you know, we talked about Stuart Friesen pitting a little bit earlier. He's had some really fast lap times, even despite that contact on those fresher tires.
Yeah, I think at least right side tires would be the call.
Ooh, that looked fast. I hope Taylor got down to pit road speed. A little hot there when he came right on our TV screen here on the left.
Josh Taylor's in.
17 of Taylor Gray is in now for his final stop of the night. First race here at Vegas, hoping that he can turn that into a win, guys.
He's got a great run going, Josh. It's been fun to watch this young man.
Getting his 4 tires.
Talking about differing strategies, you see it here with Bell. He's decided to run long. Battled all night long to get to the front. He's finally made it there.
But he still has to pit.
Tanner Gray getting his service down on pit road. Be interested to see what kind of violations we have during this course of green flag stops.
Yeah,
I think Jamie can give them to us.
We're just hearing the 98 and the 2 speeding. Michael, you saw it coming in hot, trying to hit that commitment cone. You got to have it woed down. The 7 was a safety violation. The 98 was running 3rd at the time. The 2 was running 6th. A lot going on, Amanda.
And Seth Smith, the crew chief of Christopher Bell, said earlier today that this is where we hold Kyle Busch accountable on these pit stops. Christopher Bell's been telling the team that the truck is really good in clear air, but it could be a little freer center out. 4 tires, and the number 1 is off.
15 Tanner Gray commitment line violation. So a lot happening here. The 77.
He's coming in as
Chase
the leader,
Purdy,
making his final pit stop.
We have to have a record number of lead changes. There's been so many different trucks that have paced this field.
Especially when pit stop started.
There's Lawless Allen. There's something going on the right front of that truck. I just saw him throw the black flag on the 7 of Kyle Busch.
Remember, he was busted for a safety violation, Jamie just told us.
And he
black
didn't.
flagging him, telling him he's got to come in.
There's the flagman giving it to him again.
Yeah, they won't give it to him too many times before they'll give him a black flag with a white cross on it, which means they're going to pick up his scorecard or stop the electronic scoring.
I like how you said that, Phil. They used to pick up scorecards.
They did, yeah.
We've gone electronic.
Probably 15 years ago or so, maybe 20.
We've gone digital, Phil.
How about this battle? This is going to be a battle for the lead right there between Taylor Gray and Raja once everybody makes their pit stop. Mason Massey right now is holding as Kyle Busch does come to pit road to serve his penalty.
So Kyle Busch, safety violation was the penalty, so he'll have to serve.
Most likely maybe a tire got away, you think, guys? You talked about Stuart Friesen being able to race his way back into contention with that bouncing off the wall and making that early pit stop.
Well, how about Ty Majeski, guys? He has been so dominant, led the most laps tonight, 41. Stage 1, stage number 2. He's back there mired in 20th.
Well, because of that pit stop penalty.
He had a pit stop penalty. He was speeding. So was the 2. There's that battle right there. Both nabbed for speeding,
right
trying
now,
to make their way up.
Racing for the 19th position right now.
They just went by Kyle Busch, who just went back out onto the racetrack.
We talked about how important that last stop would be, and it's bit a couple people.
So Mason Massey, still waiting for him to pit with 23 laps to go here at Las Vegas.
Here you see Raja Caruth right now running second. He will be our leader when Mason Massey comes to pit road. Truthfully, Mason Massey pitted on lap number 7. He could actually run another 10 laps if he wanted to.
Oh, why wouldn't he, huh?
Absolutely.
Take a chance for a caution?
Yeah.
Pacing this race?
I think Trip Bruce is a crew chief. He knows what he's doing.
We're in Las Vegas. Roll those dice.
Run the long game.
Get yourself in this position, leading this field. Hang on to it. You see Raja Caruth is 13.5 seconds back behind the leader. Taylor Gray, Tyler Ankrum, Corey Heim back in the 5th spot with Bell behind him.
I was talking to a lot of the crew chiefs. You know, Daytona, we didn't have any green flag pit stops. The guy said, we're not going to have any green flag pit stops at Atlanta. But we all said this racetrack a lot of times lends itself to green flag pit stops, and that's exactly what we've seen.
And then chaos ensues. I mean, we see all these a safety violation by Kyle Busch. It just shows the difficulty under green coming to pit road. Amanda.
Jamie, you go back to the speeding violation of Nick Sanchez during that pit stop. He actually overshot his pit box. He had to be pushed back a little bit by the team. It's really a shame. Right before that stop, he had radioed over to the team that this truck is finally coming to me tonight.
Yeah, unfortunate set of circumstances. As you see, the leader, Massey, comes down pit road. That will cycle the lead to Raja Caruth, and this is where the battle heats up with 21 laps to go.
Yeah, right now, so many of these drivers desperately need a caution flag to catch back up. All the guys with the penalties, Majeski, Busch, Sanchez, they are out of contention unless we get a caution flag.
It is the Craftsman, 20 to go. Could it be his day? I mean, the only way to get better is to drive it into victory lane for the first time in his career. But
well, how about this week? HendrickCars.com announces they're going to pick up the entire season for him, and then he sits on the pole. And right now, over a 1 second lead on Taylor Gray. And what he's thinking right now, no caution flags. Please, no caution flags.
And what about 20 other people are thinking, please have a caution flag. We need a caution flag.
See Raja's crew chief, Chad Walter, veteran in the garage, what he's thinking right now. He's looking like he's emotionless, but imagine what's going on inside. Can we hang on for 19 more laps?
Last time by, Phil, Raja was the fastest truck on the track. Marginally, I mean barely, but it's still the fastest, and that's what he's looking for.
Michael, you asked how many different leaders now after that cycle? 10 different leaders tonight, 19 different lead changes.
We're closing in on records in both categories, and I know certainly Raja Caruth hopes that record doesn't get broken tonight. That means he leads it all the way to the finish.
You know, we saw Corey Heim leading when the pit stop started. He had a 22-second pit stop, and that's why he finds himself right now in 3rd spot, but only about a second and a half behind Raja Caruth with 18 laps to go.
And Raja Caruth had about a 16-second pit stop, so that gave him an advantage as well.
And you know, with traffic, a second can go away in 1 lap. You catch a truck at the wrong spot on the racetrack, lose the nose of your truck, that's gone.
Let's see if Corey can make his way. No, I was hoping he could make his way for him, hoping he could get by on the outside and not spend a whole lot of time racing his teammate, Taylor Gray. But I love the fact that Taylor's not just going to pull over and let him go. He's running second right here in a Craftsman Truck Series race.
Battle of the Tricon Garage Toyotas right here for 2nd and 3rd. Meanwhile, Tyler Ankrum's like, hey guys,
don't forget me. Don't forget me.
This thing's far from over. So much can happen.
Whoa, Corey's going to get sideways. You see him get out of the throttle and the fire come out the exhaust pipes.
And here comes Ankrum.
What Ankrum say? Don't forget about me, guys. I'm watching you, making you make mistakes as he makes his way around Corey Heim.
If I can win this thing, you'd be helping me out a little bit, man.
10-4, I said time to run.
Come on, man.
10-4, by 3, build the mow.
Build the mow. That means get some momentum, clear the guy that you're trying to race against. Don't go in the corner side by side with them.
And every lap that they're running side by side here, Raja Caruth is just pulling away.
Raja's got a 1.8 second lead over Taylor Gray, and I wonder if it was Taylor Gray that Corey Heim was talking about.
Totally, 100%.
What about that move by Ankrum? Up to 2nd. He's strolling.
His truck has come to life, boys.
I picked him before the race to win, and I didn't think I made a very good pick, but feeling better about that now.
You're looking pretty smart right now, Michael.
He's right there.
Remember, we thought the experience was going to be the way to go, too, in these conditions.
Well, it's hard to pick a guy who's never won a race, right? So how do you say?
Against Kyle Busch.
Exactly.
Last time by, Ankrum was the fastest truck. So watch that 18. What a start to the season it's been.
Ankrum's closing in a little bit. Remember, it was a 1.88 second lead.
There's the gap. You can see right there, Phil.
Love it.
That's what 1.5 seconds looks like. Just a reminder, Kyle Busch, on that last round of stops, they were green flags. He was penalized for safety infraction. I don't have it in front of me, a safety violation. So
probably a
he had
tire
to come
got away.
through.
And that was Sanchez that Raja just was able to put a lap down. Remember, because of that penalty he had.
It's unfortunate. That was another strong truck tonight. A teammate, quasi-teammate to the leader, Raja Caruth. I can't wait. I mean, no matter where Raja ends up finishing, just want to hear what it was like for him tonight. To lead this number of laps, to be out in front of Kyle Busch, who he looks up to so much. He battled with him up front tonight. And to hold off a Christopher Bell who's charging through the field. Really impressive.
Raja was a 1/4 second faster than Ankrum that last lap. The lap before that, it was just the opposite. Ankrum was a 1/4 second faster.
There was a lot of traffic these guys are dealing with here late in the race that could swing that margin one way or the other every lap. That's
we're
what
talking about
lately.
good trucks too, Michael. Good trucks are getting lapped.
Amanda, what's Christopher Bell saying?
Of the 3 Cup drivers still in this race, Christopher Bell might have the best shot of it. He was radioing with this team, asking about lap times ahead of him. His team radioed back, don't worry, we're catching these guys, we're faster. The question remains, is there enough time for the one?
Not without a caution, there's not, Amanda, but he is right. His team is right. He was the fastest truck on the track the last 3 laps. In that beautiful number 1 Mobil 1 Toyota.
10 laps to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Will it be Raja Caruth's night? Will it be Tyler Ankrum's night?
Look who that is in front of Raja, our leader. That is a 7 of Kyle Busch. After that penalty, is Raja going to be able to put him a lap down? He is. How many times do you think Kyle Busch has been lapped, regardless of the situation in a Truck Series race?
I know that's Kyle's student that's put him a lap down, and I know how proud Kyle must be of that, even though he's mad as heck right now because his race didn't go the way expected. He's got to be proud of this young man.
And Raja waved his hand at Kyle as to say thank you so much for making it easy for me to focus here, stay out front, try to win my first career race.
He stretched that lead out to over 2 seconds now.
Yeah, with clean racetrack, I think he has the fastest truck. And look at all the traffic that Ankrum has gone through.
It's the 18 radio.
Tyler, I want you to keep it basic.
Oh.
Keep that in your mind. Keep it basic the rest of the way. Nothing cute. You don't need anything cute.
Don't be cute, but he almost lost it right there. Got extremely loose.
Yeah, Corey Heim pulled up right behind him and took a little air off that rear spoiler.
Isn't that great, Phil? You go down in one corner and almost spin out. What do you got to do? You got to go down the next corner and try to hang on to it again. And he does just that.
Trying to hold off Corey Heim. Will Heim have enough time to get around him and make a charge at the front?
Are you asking if it's going to be Heim time, Jamie?
I'm wondering, but I have a feeling everything has aligned and it may be Raja's night.
Raja time.
Raja time. We need to come up with something new.
Raja's in pretty shape right now. As long as we don't see a caution flag, then all bets are off.
How about Spire Motorsports for a second, where they've come from and what they're doing this year? 4 full-time trucks, 3 Cup teams, all under the same roof, Kyle Busch Motorsports, and what they're doing already. We're talking about them week in and week out.
Yeah, the sister team for Rev Racing won Daytona, and then Kyle comes back for Spire and wins at Atlanta, and here Raja is leading the race by over almost 2 seconds with just a handful of laps to go.
There's another proud driver down there watching this race, and that's Bubba Wallace. He and Raja had a lot of conversations about what it's like to go up here and try to win one of these races, and I know he's proud of him right now.
Bubba was really successful in the Truck Series. He's a mentor to Raja Caruth. Bubba and all the Cup guys will be on track tomorrow for a little practice, a little qualifying. That's coming up at 2 Eastern on FS1.
That's the 66 of Connor Jones that's going a lap down. He's having a solid run up in the top 15.
That lead has shrunk though, Phil. Another 2/10 off of it last time by. Ankrum's got it down under 2 seconds. If it weren't for that big slide, no telling where he would be.
Raja Caruth, 34 laps led tonight so far and continues to lead. He has a 2.5 lead over Tyler Ankrum.
Ankrum takes another 2/10 off of it. Only 3 to go, though.
Well, this has been an exciting night.
It has.
A lot of great racing, minimal cautions.
It's had a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Great racing.
You can see the gap right there. There's 2 lap trucks in between our leader Raja and Ankrum in the orange and blue truck right there.
Raja was featured on race day, sat down with Caitlin Vincey, and we learned a little thing about him I never knew. He ran track in high school. He's still going to college. He lives in Washington, D.C. As he makes his way around, Raja Caruth will take the white flag. 1 lap to go.
That's a great feeling when you got control of the race, doesn't it, Phil? When you see that white flag, you know, if there's a caution now, so be it.
Yeah, the next flag's going to end it.
The 21-year-old out of Washington, D.C.
Just a great spirit, such a good kid, and this is awesome.
His 30th truck start came up from the Arkham Menard Series.
Whatever you need coming to the line. Really proud
Just
of you.
praying
Way
for
to
it.
execute all night.
There it is. Raja Caruth wins it at Las Vegas. First career win, gets it done.
You ask about...
He didn't just step into that.
No.
He had an amazing run tonight.
Set on the pole, led a bunch of laps, executed on the last pit stop, got on and off pit road properly. His team came through with a great stop.
And remember, this driver got his start just like William Byron, iRacing.
Faded back a little bit, got a little outside the top 5, never gave up, stayed in the hunt. The team got the job done on pit road. 7th driver to score his first career win right here at Las Vegas.
We've been talking about a first-time winner coming really soon.
Yes, there's so many more that are going to do the same thing, I believe.
How about this? He'd only led 2 laps in his career prior to tonight. Started on pole, 38 laps led. And for the first time, he gets to burn him down in the infield of Las Vegas.
And he's 21 now. He can celebrate in Las Vegas.
Yes, he can. What a cool place to get your first win. And knowing Raja, he's probably going to hang out all weekend just to watch and listen and learn what the Cup guys are doing.
What an impressive run for that young man.
Jake, the cameraman, is running to the scene of this victory.
He parks it on the start-finish line. Checkered flag awaits. You hear the fans so pumped.
Well, there's nothing like that first win. Unbelievable.
There's nothing like interviewing a first-time winner. The emotion. They're a little excited, and for good reason.
Roger says, help me out.
There he is.
That's beautiful.
Raja Caruth, victorious for the first time in his Craftsman Truck Series career.
Big no. Thank you, bro. Talk to me, dog. Baby. Talk to me, dog. I love it, King. Hey, that's first of many, baby.
First of many, they say.
That
I
gives me
agree.
chills.
It does me too. What a touching moment.
Josh
What a
Sims is
moment
there.
for Raja Caruth as he celebrates with his father after his first career victory in the Truck Series. Certainly an emotional moment, as you can see. Hugs his good friend Brad Perez as well. Raja, we talked earlier, and I was explaining to you the start of the season you had put together, and you said, I don't want to talk about that. Talk to me after I get that win out here tonight. Talk to me about the emotions you're feeling right now.
Yeah, man, it's surreal. I thank you so much to HendryCars.com and Mr. H for putting me in this thing all year, along with the men and women at Spire, man. They've had a lot of work this winter, and the decal shop's been working very hard too. So glad to get the win for Team Chevy. Can't thank my family enough. You know, so many people have helped me get to this point, and I can't believe it.
Walk me through the night. I mean, you didn't just go out there. You went out there and dominated a little bit, especially in the field with guys like Kyle Busch in the field, Christopher Bell as well. What was working for you tonight?
I mean, I just stayed cool. You know, we lost track position at little portions of the race, and we just stayed in the game. And it was just one step, one punch, one round at a time. And my guys had me a great stop, and we just executed. So there's more to come for sure.
Rajah Caruth, your winner at Vegas.
The celebration behind us for Rajah Caruth, and Tyler Ankrum was looking at it and said, I was right there. We heard your team talk to you and say, don't be cute. Think about your execution tonight. How satisfied are you with it?
Yeah, incredibly satisfied. We started off the race there pretty good, and had a bad pit stop in that second stage and just got behind, got way too tight. But pit crew made the right adjustments, had really quick stops, no mistakes on green flag pit road. Pretty flawless all night long. So I'm happy for Laina getting second place at Vegas. I can finally say I got Vegas figured out and I can run good here. Congratulations to Rajah. He's a fantastic. Of course, his crew chief Chad Walters, fantastic crew chief. So happy for them. Wish we would have been able to do it, but I think our time's coming.
The only big concern down here was how his hair looked in the win.
Great run for Tyler Ankrum. We've talked about him so much. I feel like a lot more is coming, and his win perhaps is coming soon. Rajah Caruth, though, the night belonged to him. First career pole, first career win in the same day. More to come from Las Vegas. Stay with us.